Hey crafty friends, welcome back to the channel. I am Catrice and thank you so much for clicking on that thumbnail. And if this is your first time watching, thank you so much. Today we are going to work on some cute little crafty gifts for teachers. I'm going to be doing a series over the next few videos of back to school gift ideas. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to reposition the camera and we can dive right in. Okay, so we are going to start with the very first project for today being this board. Remember last week when I did the haul from the trip that I went on? So I finally found what I want to put on that board, and we are going to go ahead and load this in. I'm using my Cameo today instead of the Cricut because my Cricut was kind of acting up a little bit last week when I was working on some things. So I thought I would just give her a rest. But the difference between the two machines that I have, the two models that I have, my Cameo prints a lot faster than my Cricut, but it's a much louder cut machine. I keep saying print. It's a much louder cut machine. So I'm going to fast forward this portion of the video and kind of put it on mute because I know you guys don't want to hear all that noise. But just letting you know what we're working on first. And let me make sure I got my settings okay, because sometimes I leave things on cardstock and I don't want to mess up my vinyl. All right, so I think we're good to go. So we'll get this cut out and then you will see this little thing come to life. All right, let's see what we have. Looks like it cut pretty good. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this trimmed down and then get the second word ready to be cut out. And then after that, that's also gonna be a black. Sorry for the noise. That's also going to be in black as well. And then I'm going to be ready to start with the pink vinyl. So we'll get this all done. Whoops, I'm gonna make sure I'm not cutting my, make sure I wasn't cutting my design by mistake. Okay. I don't know what's been going on with Silhouette Studio, but I'm thinking it might be my computer because it is doing a lot of blinking. So I don't know what that's about. I don't know. Sometimes craft machines and software, they have a mind of their own. All right, so we're going to get this next word done, and then in a minute you guys are going to see the design. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this loaded in. So this is going to be this, you know what, I'm going to print the next word that's going to be in black because I want that to be in pink. Okay, so the second letter just printed. And now I am ready to start with this is some of that Hobby Lobby vinyl. This is not Teckwrap, which is what I normally use. So I wanted to, I think this is the vinyl that I bought. Oh yeah, I got this out of Ollie's. Yeah, they had a few rolls that was actually Dollar Tree vinyl, but because it feels almost like paper. Hopefully I'm not making too much noise. So we got that done. But yeah, this is that Crafter Square brand of vinyl. And I can go ahead and tell you right now, I'm not much of a fan of it because it's very, it feels like you paid $1 for it, if that makes sense. It's not Teckwrap and not Oracle, but it's going to work for what I'm trying to do. But don't get me wrong, it's something you can still use it. It's, you know, it's okay. Now this pink is Oracle that I'm putting down now. This is some Oracle vinyl. And I'm just rubbing it with this little roller because my mat is getting old and it is not as sticky as it used to be. So we'll get this cut out, and then when I come back on camera, we'll be ready to weed everything. Okay, so that just finished cutting, and we are finished for now. Whoops, with all of the vinyl cutting for now. So I'm just gonna turn that off, close that up, and I'll take this off the mat real quick, and we can get started weeding and see what we have. I need to order me some new Cameo mats pretty quickly because I was cutting something and I had the wrong setting on it one time, and look, it cut straight through my mat. So it is definitely time to get it replaced. And I think when I bought that one, I caught a really good sale. So hopefully I can get lucky and do that again. Let that hold that. So I'm trying to see my little design, so make sure I don't cut it and have to go back in and get it cut again. We are doing good. I can't wait for y'all to see this because when I saw it, the design, I was like, oh, yep, that is me. Okay. I'm going to weed this pink first because I think I accidentally, messed up something, but let's check real quick. And then we'll know. Oh, no, it's perfect. Okay, I thought I had accidentally cut the M because for some reason it was hard to tell. And if I didn't mention it or not, this is Oracle that I'm using. Trying to make sure I'm in frame for you all. Okay, so we got this cut out. I'm just gonna hold it like that. And then this vinyl is I think it's called Crafter Square, which is the Dollar Tree brand. I am interested to see how this turns out. But I didn't want to use my Teckwrap for this sign. Oh, well, it weeds really nicely. I can tell you that much. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right, so got that one. 2 down and 1 more to go. Let's get this weeded out quickly. And this SVG file is from my all-time favorite, Creative Fabrica. So yeah. So one thing this vinyl does is weed amazingly. Like no issues at all. So it might be a good fallback vinyl to use when you're in a pinch. Just run to the Dollar Tree and grab some of that. Okay. Oh, you know what? I forgot to cut my little, I know I was forgetting something. Forgot to cut the icons, but we'll go ahead and since we've gotten this far and I've got the machine turned off, we'll go ahead and get started with putting what we have on the thing. Let me, whoops, sorry guys. Let me readjust this camera because it looks like you guys are not in frame too much. All right, that's better. Okay, so first thing first is to clean this off with some alcohol and hopefully the paint doesn't come off. Doesn't try to come off. I'm just gonna put it on the paper towel, spread like that, and then do a little test. Oh, okay, that's good. I'm just gonna lightly rub the dust off. Okay. Maybe do a little bit more. I remember I was doing a project one time and it was kind of like the board, the backboard was like a chalky material, whatever they use, and the color was black. And I just sprayed like the alcohol all over it and wiped it. And whoo, the color was coming right on up off of it. I said, oh my gosh. So ever since then, I'm always very careful to make sure. So that wiped up nicely. Nothing coming up off of it. But it was very dusty because it's no telling how long it was hanging up in ollies. Okay, so let's put the first, let me get my my paper. Okay, so we'll put the first one. So the SVG says crafting mends the soul. And get my little transfer tape ready. And let's kind of slide that down like that. Bring this over a little bit. Let's see. Sorry if I make anybody a little dizzy, but I want to make sure I got the camera angle right for you guys. Okay. Oops. All right, so we're going to get this down. If I can get the transfer tape on. And I need another little small piece to kind of cover up that little section there. So when you're doing your when you're putting your transfer tape down on your design, if you come up a little short, just take an extra piece, and as long as it overlaps the original piece of transfer tape, it'll all come up in one smooth sweep. So I'm just going to varnish it this way and turn it over and go this way. And now let's see if it comes up. Okay, you know what? I'm taking back what I said about it. It does feel like paper, this brand of vinyl, but it weaves very nicely and it comes up even more nicely with the transfer tape. So this design was designed to sort of overlap. The words were designed to kind of overlap each other. And hopefully that comes through. Because this board it's kind of like shiplap, the little boards in here. So hopefully, where's my feeding tool? Hopefully I can bring that same look across. Oops. Okay. Well, after I got through praising the vinyl, now it wants to be a little difficult. But I guess you just need to varnish it down nicely. Get it down really well. And it won't lift on you. All right, so let's get... Let me start at a different end. Oh, that's not going to come up. And sometimes it can be what the item that you're placing it on. Well, let's see. It's trying. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, so this is going to be one of those situations where you're going to have to, if you just have to work with it. Okay, so I take back again what I said. What I said about the vinyl. Man, it wants to act up. Yeah, so this definitely is going to just take some patience. But that's fine, because that is what this channel is about. Patiently slowing down and enjoying your craft. So that's what we are going to do. But for you guys, I might speed up this part of the video, because as you can see, it's like one letter at a time, because it doesn't want to. So let me show you up close what's happening. So as I put the vinyl down, the letters are trying to lift up. So you see how that J wants to come right on off? So that's what's happening. Now, it could be a few things that I didn't just wipe this off enough because I was too afraid of the paint coming off. Or it could be the fact that this is wood, and you know sometimes wood and vinyl, the two, they don't like to play well together. Or it could be the type of vinyl that I'm using. So it could be a number of other things. Now keep in mind, this vinyl, it was $1, so we have to keep that in mind. But yeah, I'm going to fast forward this because I might be here a minute, but we are going to get it down. Now the pink that I use is Oracle, so we'll see how that goes down. Whew, okay, y'all, that was an experience. Okay, so I think this is going to be good now. I just have to go in with my finger and just sort of press a few areas a little bit. So yeah, you have to do a little bit of surgery with your projects sometimes, and this was definitely one of those times. Okay, whew, all right, got that on there. Now, it is time for, now this says men's, and this pink is the Oracle. So we are going to see how the Oracle does. And then we'll know if it's the board or if it's the vinyl. We will know in a few minutes. I'm glad I'm starting with this one first, and I thought this was going to be the easiest project of what I have planned for today. All right, so I got the Oracle down. Now, this is the word that I was talking about that's going to sort of overlap. It's supposed to overlap, but I don't think I want it to, so I'm just going to kind of slide it down a little bit, and hopefully it doesn't look too weird. Well, you know what? I can do... Hold on, guys. You know I have to... do my overthinking. I think, let's see, let me look at the SVG file real quick and take a look at how it's supposed to look. Oh, okay, so the M, well, I have it right. I got it right. So yeah, okay. All right. I don't know, I hope that looks okay. Let's see. You know what? I rubbed it down before I was really ready to commit, so I guess I'm committed to it now. Committed to it now. Okay. Oh, see, it's okay. Look at that coming like it's supposed to. So it was the vinyl, not the board. All right. So far, that is what we have. So yeah, so the Orica pulled right on up like a champ. So that means, and now I've got to struggle again to get this on here. So that means it was the vinyl. Okay. Oh, well, you craft and you learn. That's what I always say. All right, so let me find my transfer tape that I just literally had. Okay, here we are. And then, look at that, I just sat up here and pulled the H off. All right. Okay, so we are going to, maybe since these letters are a little larger almost, maybe it won't give me such a hard time. But it's amazing how easily it just pulls right off the bat. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get this down like that. And I think I'm going to put a little icon here because I don't like how that space. But I did cut out a pair of scissors, a spool of thread for the sewing icons to put down on here. All right, yeah, so here we go again. I'm going to speed this part up because it's trying to pull up. Okay, that's what we have. Crafting mends the soul. And this is the Orica vinyl that just went down and came back up perfectly. So I may put like a sewing icon right here, and I'm definitely putting some down here. So we'll come back to this since I've already got my machine turned off. But yeah, so that's so far. And I actually like it. I just kind of need to marinate a little bit on the part that says men's. And I don't know why the H and the E looks like it's crooked down here. So I'm going to put this up a little bit and kind of make that a little straighter like it should be. I don't know what happened in that process, but I'm going to try not to be too much of a perfectionist with this because it's just a sign. All right, I think that's a little bit better. All right, we're gonna go with, whoops, we're gonna go with that. Okay. Okay, so we are going to put this to the side a little bit, come back to it, and add the extra frills on there. All right, so let's move along to a different project. All right, so I have this tote bag. This is going to be a heat press. And I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this transfer tape because I think it is done. All right, so I have this, and it is actually going to be a teacher gift. And it says, and this is, what is this, Teckwrap vinyl. So it says Teaching Future Leaders. And I'm just going to heat press this on real quickly. But first, I am going to give this a good press to get some of the moisture out of it. And then once I do that, I will place this down on there and then we'll head to the heat press. Okay, y'all, so while we're waiting for the heat press to get up to temp, I just wanted to let you know that I went in and I changed this one here. So I made it a little straighter and brought it down, and I also brought the pink down. So I just want you guys to know, and that is how it looks now. And then I went ahead and cut out some icons. I don't know if it's gonna pick up or not. Let's see. And I'm thinking about putting these at the bottom of the press. Woo, I need coffee. Thinking about putting them at the bottom of this board here, but we'll see. And you'll be able to see the icons a little bit better when and the heat press is ready, it just beat. But you'll be able to see the icons better when I put it down on the craft table. So now I have already pressed this, got it kind of like the moisture out, the wrinkles out, all of that good stuff. And then we are going to go ahead and get the vinyl assembled. So let me put you guys down on the table. All right, so we are down here now. And let's start with the word teaching. And oops, vinyl running away from me. All right, so I'm gonna just put this, get this all centered here as best I can. So the letters are not straight letters. They kind of go on a little bit of a wavy feel. And I just went and got this heat press tape that I'm going to be using to just sort of hold down the vinyl. There we go. So now let me measure and make sure that the side is good evenly. So I think I need to slide it over just a little bit. I can get it. And I think that is it. It looks good for the eye. So let's see, yep. Okay, we're gonna go with that. It is close enough. And so, let me make sure it's not up too high because I don't want it up too. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, have enough room. I'm gonna do one at a time. And then when you're doing working with HTV vinyl, because it has this little film on top, the little clear plastic is on top of the letters, you don't need any butcher paper or anything to go over it. But when I heat this word and I come back and I pull it off, then I'm going to put some butcher paper over to protect this for when I go to heat the next one. All right, so let's head over to the heat press. Okay, so we are here, and let's just go ahead and get this pulled out and get it on the machine. I think I'm going to turn it this way. And then while this is pressing, I'm going to go over and get the butcher paper. So I'll be ready. And use your heat press gloves, guys. When you're working with this, don't follow my lead. All right, so I'm gonna give that a good press, and then it'll pop up when it's ready. And then I will get the butcher paper. Okay, so it is ready, and this is a cool peel. So we're gonna let it, whew, a little hot. We're gonna let it kind of cool down on my table right here. And if everything peels off okay, then I don't need to do a second press. All right, so let's see what we have. I hope this is a good angle. You guys can see from over there. All right, so let's get this pulled. Okay, so far so good. Okay, that came up nicely. Nothing trying to lift up, so we are good there. And now it is time for the second word to go down, which is the word future. And let's see, I'm going to center it right in the middle, like that. That's right. It's hard to make sure you're straight when the letters are so wavy, because they're going in kind of like a wave motion. All right, so let's get this up here. And I'm just going to put it on top to cover up the word teaching. And lift you out up a little bit. Got you sitting on my laptop. All right. And then that's going to pop up in a few seconds when it's ready. And then we have one more word, and that would be leader, leaders. Okay, so it's ready. And I don't know if I mentioned or not, this is the HTV Auto Heat Press. It is not their latest one that they recently released, I think last year or this year, but this one is fairly new as well. It's just not a this year release. Okay, so letting this cool down. And this HTV vinyl that I'm using is Teckwrap. So, all right, let's lay this down here. And one more word. And we'll be finished. Perfect, perfect. All right, so let's get the word leaders on here. I keep saying it without the S. All right, so trying to make sure that I've got it straight. And I think so. Okay. So now I'm going to put the butcher paper over the first two words. And then we are in there. Okay, let's let that go. And then once we get these pressed, I will come back to we'll circle back around to the board. All right, so now we are going to head over to the craft table after I make sure this is okay. Very cool. Just let it cool down because it is super hot. I think my craft table is a little cooler, so I'm gonna lay it over here real quickly. Yeah, that's bringing it out. Okay. So let's see what we have. All right, that peeled nicely. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so we're back over here. Let's just take one more close-up look at the tote bag. But you know, my table is right near the window, so it's probably not picking up all the colors. But let's see if we can pull this down a little. Okay. And I think that will do it. Yep. All right, so let's see. Yeah, now you can get a good look. And that is the final project for that. So now let's circle back over here. I'm gonna cut this heat press off before it becomes 1,000 degrees in my craft room. This is already 900 outside. Okay, so we're back with this. I love the contrast of this pink and black. That is so pretty. But you guys know I'm a fan of pink. All right, so now I have my icons here. And I'm going to see if I can cut them out without cutting the actual design, because I was trying to squeeze them in on some scrap vinyl, and I was trying to get them all squeezed in, and they're kind of close. All right, okay. So we got the scissors. Now I just need to get my transfer tape. I'm going to reuse what I was using earlier. So these are a pair of scissors that I found. And you know, everything that I use as far as SVG files is going to be 98.9% of the time it's going to be Creative Fabrica. Because that site has everything you could possibly need to create with. And, whoops. I can get that off. So they have a free Creative Fabrica. They have a free version and a paid one that you pay for. And I've got the paid version. So I don't know if some of these SVG files, if they may not be free if you don't have the paid subscription. But for the most part, I think they have quite a bit. I'm trying to get this extra transfer tape that's blocking the wood part, keeping it from laying down. That's why I wanted to use that scrap piece, because I knew I would be doing a lot of trimming. Yeah, I got that. Okay, so let's put this there. Oh, and I am not sponsored by Creative Fabrica. I know it probably sounds like I am. I just actually genuinely do love their graphics. All right, so let's see where we are. I don't know if that, oh yeah, that picked up good. So got the scissors. And now I am going to I have the sewing machine and a needle thread. I think I like the sewing machine, so I'm going to use that. Cut that down. And I got the needles super close in here. See if I can squeeze in here with my little handy dandy scissors. Okay. Now let's see if we can slide this up a little. Okay. And then I put this on here, and this will be finished. And I can hang it back on the wall. Because I hung it up with nothing on it, just so I can just kind of look at it while I'm in my craft room and think about what I wanted to go on there. And then when I came across this design, I was like, yep, that's it. That is the one. So I'll get this down. Okay. So this one is the sewing machine. So I guess I need to sit it straight because I don't know if it would look right being slanted. Since that is not how we sew. Okay, let's get this to lay down. And this is HTV. This is Teckwrap. Not sure if I mentioned that or not. Okay, I think I like that. So that is what we have. Oh yeah, by laying it backwards, then the sun won't catch it. You guys can see. Well, that's that. All right, woo, got this little board together. Now, let's head over to, let's do the next set. Okay, so this little tote bag thingy, I'm doing a gift set for a friend. And I am going to keep that same color scheme and design thing in mind. I'm going to try to. So I want to do a can koozie and a zip bag for her as well. Can you believe school is about to get started up again? I think what I'm going to do is a back to school craft idea for teacher gifts series. I think I'll do that next for the next video, but we'll see. All right, so let's do the cup koozie, cup sleeve next. And I already have the heat press ready. It just beeped a few minutes ago. So I'm just gonna take my little lint roller and just kind of roll down the front. and the back of that. And I'm going to run this to the heat press and give it a quick little steam, front and back, just to help the vinyl stick a little more. And once I do that, we'll be ready to put down the design. So got that down. So this is how, it's just a regular little sleeve. All right, so, and I found 2 SVGs that were teacher themed that I like, science teacher themed in particular, which is what she is. So we're gonna get this on here like that. And let me get my heat press, let me get my heat tape, because I want it to, it's not trying to stay down long enough. So let's do that. And put a piece on each little corner. And then that'll hold it in place. Well, I think it'll hold it in place. All right, so I'm gonna go to the heat press and heat this really quickly, and then come back and let you guys see the reveal. I'll have that on 15 seconds, and the next one I put on is going to be this little design that I found. I may have to give this a second press. So while it's cooling, because it was a little bubbled up. And this is some vinyl from Hobby Lobby. So let's see what we have. Yeah, it needs a second press, but I think when I go to put this design on the opposite side, I think that's going to take care of anything that needs to be done on the other side. So I'm going to lay that down. And I'm also putting down some butcher paper on the opposite side of the sleeve, just to protect that design. And let's get this down. I'm just going to do some extra taping. Okay, so I'm going to have this on the heat plate so that this design doesn't get messed up, and then put that down. Doing that like that, and then that should protect it. And you get that going. And then this next one is going to be the vinyl that I purchased, this vinyl here that I hauled last week. It is supposed to be a puff vinyl, but we'll see. I never have good luck with my puff vinyl. All right, so this is ready. And let's get this peeled up. Oh, that came out nicely. I don't think it needs a second press. Yeah, so that's the front side and the back. And I was worried that I didn't get it up high enough for when you actually put the cup in, but I did, so that worked out fine. Now this particular design, I'm not too sure about, because like I was saying, the puff vinyl and we don't fare too well together. And I've tried a lot of different brands of puff vinyl, so I don't know what it is. But I think what I'm going to do, because, okay, so the one that says teacher, this is not puff vinyl. This is just everyday iron-on vinyl. It says Teacher Life is what I'm putting on here. So I think that's, yeah, I think that's, I might bring this down just a little bit. Make sure I get it straight. I like this color combination, the bright orange with the floral pink and gold with a little bit of orange in there. All right, so let me press this first just to get the moisture out of it. And then we'll be ready to put on the vinyl. And I'm going to leave it hanging as much as I can off the press because it has that zipper that I don't want to overheat. All right, so we are ready. And when you're doing these, kind of pay attention to which way you want your zipper to go. So for me, I want to do this left to right. So put that there. And then let's get this lined up. And I think that would do it. I'm gonna put a little bit of tape just to sort of hold it in place. Put some on top. Okay, ooh, that's gonna be so cute. All right, so let's get this pressed for 15 seconds, and I'm pressing it at 310 degrees. I did all of this on 310 for 15 seconds. And then we'll do the puff vinyl. So while that's pressing down, I'm just gonna trim some of this clear lining off so I can have room. And the other one is ready. I'm gonna get it. And get this put up. So hopefully this turns out. Ooh, I might bring this heat down to 300 since I'm doing the puff. I don't want to overheat it. So I'm just cooling this off on my craft table. And then we'll get this on. And I'm going to cover this up. I didn't see any lifting. I'm going to cover this up with some butcher paper. Okay. Ooh, I hope this puffs up nicely. But if it doesn't, because it is like a little floral print, I think it'll still be cute, even if it doesn't puff up like it should. This is that vinyl that I found on sale, so we'll see. And it is a Hobby Lobby brand. Actually, both of these were Hobby Lobby brand. All right, be right back. Okay, I think we got a little bit of puff action going on. Not too sure. I can feel it. Ooh, it's hot. I can feel it bubbling. But if not, like I say, it's still a cute little design. Yeah, not too, the F kind of puffed up some, but the rest of it, not too much. So that is it. And it just says Teacher Life. Yeah, so that didn't puff too much. You know what I'm gonna do? A little quick press and kind of see what happens. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, it's still a cute design. I'm gonna just clip this little piece of hair that's showing thread coming out. All right, so that's that. And then the very last thing that I want to do is put this on these little popular motel looking key rings. And I'm gonna spray it down with some alcohol real quickly. And then we are on the very last craft for today's video. Thank y'all so much if you made it to the end. I know this was a little bit of a long one, but I had these few things I wanted to go ahead and do and get them done. So I can, you know how you want to check off that to-do list all the time. And let me run and get some transfer tape. Okay, I am back. And we're gonna get this on real quickly. And this just says teacher, and it has, oops, I'm using this art, it's more like a dark peachy color from Teckwrap. Well, I guess it is orange. Never mind. It's very orangey because I was trying to keep in the color scheme of what I was using. All right, so let's get this on here. And put that down like that. And it peels up very nicely, like that. Okay, and then for the back, I'm gonna put this little mushroom design on here. I just thought it was cute. No rhyme or reason. I know one thing, that heat press in the summertime definitely heats up this craft room for sure. Okay, and we got that on there. All right, thank you all so much. Let's bring out everything that we did today. I'll start with the gift item thingies. All right, so we have the tote bag, just like that. This just says teaching future leaders. And then the little cup koozie. Whoops, upside down. This is probably my favorite. And then the key ring. And if this had puffed up properly, this would have been really cute. But I think it's still cute, even without being all puffed up. And then we have the design. This is more for me, for my craft room. And I'm going to hang this up over near my sewing cutting table. Now let me reposition the camera. Okay, friends, thank y'all so much for sticking with me throughout this video. I hope it wasn't too terribly long, but I just had a lot of things I wanted to do and get off my little to-do list. And stay tuned for the very next video. And I appreciate those of you that have subscribed. We are just trucking right along. But if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. And if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And until next time, guys, I will see you all in the very next video. Bye.